NBA executive reveals concern that could derail the Miami Heat's season. Depth has been one of the Miami Heat's problems this season, and in a year where they lack depth, they've needed depth as they've dealt with many important player injuries. Jimmy Butler has returned following a 7-game absence due to injury. However, the squad continues to struggle with depth, particularly in the frontcourt with power forward and center positions. Caleb Martin has been the starter alongside Bam Adebayo. However, outside of Adebayo, the squad only possesses one center in Dwayne Dedmon. This is still a possible weakness for the Heat. Heat season threatened by depth in the center. One NBA executive recently told Heavy Sports' Sean Devaney that if the Heat doesn't fix their depth at center, their season could be in trouble and could even cause them to have to write the season off. They're going to need to hope they can get by with what they have because anything they do is going to put them into the luxury tax, and they don't want to go there. They're playing Bam Adebayo more than they ever have, and they have Dwayne Dedmon playing the minutes that Bam is not in. If one of them gets hurt, they're in trouble. They'll either have to write off the season or go into the tax. Orlando Robinson is an interesting option, though. He is more of a traditional big guy, but he could hold his own if they need him for 10 to 15 minutes a night. But mostly, they're doing a high-wire act with their whole frontcourt right now, the Eastern Conference executive told Heavy Sports. After the Heat re-signed Udonis Haslem for his 20th year with the team, their roster options have been limited with their proximity to the luxury tax. Because of that, they would be unable to sign any available big man like Dwight Howard, Hassan Whiteside, or DeMarcus Cousins. Caleb Martin revealed as potential Heat trade piece. In a recent episode of the Hoops Hype podcast, Hoops Hype NBA insider Michael Scotto revealed that Heat starting forward Caleb Martin has been identified as a potential trade piece for Miami when he becomes available for trade near the deadline. Miami has had interest in trading for Suns forward Jay Crowder, said Scotto. Moving Caleb Martin theoretically would work financially, and Miami has enough shooting in Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Herro, and Gabe Vincent, where the Heat could withstand losing Martin. The question is if Phoenix wants to take on additional salary in the years to come. I've heard from some executives that Phoenix doesn't want to take on much additional salary, if at all, ideally if Crowder is moved, and they'd like a forward back. Martin has been a solid starting forward for the Heat. One NBA coach credited Martin for his strong play, but speculated concern that the undersized forward may have trouble as the long season goes on. Perhaps it is time for the Heat to consider dipping into the luxury tax or trading for another big man as they approach their postseason hopes. The short-handed Miami Heat, 6 months removed from coming within an errant three-pointer of beating the Boston Celtics en route to the NBA Finals for a second time in 3 years, allowed 134 points to their Eastern Conference rivals in a loss that temporarily dropped them out of the play-in tournament picture. Wednesday's victory also improved the Celtics' record to a league-best 18-4. I feel like they're connected, Miami All-Star center Bam Adebayo said when I asked what difference he saw from Boston this season under first-year head coach Joe Mazzulla. That's one thing you can see out there. They're connected as a team, and that's hard to find in this league, a team that's 1 to 15 connected. How confident is Adebayo that the Heat can match that level of connectivity once Jimmy Butler returns to the fold, likely on Friday, and they can string together some lineup continuity for the first time in a month? We'll be back, Adebayo asserted. We've had an up-and-down season these first 22 or 23 games. Never count us out, though. That's one thing I always say about us. You count us out, and we'll surprise you.
And he had 16 of the 25 points in the third quarter.